How was your football camp?
Went real good. Had a good turnout. Almost had about 340 kids out there. Real good. My 4th annual one. I'm excited. Being a Raider now and being local, a lot more teaching came. But it's a great thing. We have a real good time.
How's it been for you so far coming into the new team and got a lot to take in at first, or how's the process been for you?
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's you go to some teams, we have a couple of egos here and there, but I feel like this group here is just a bunch of guys that want to work and want to turn this thing around. And being with Greg Olson's offense, I'm picking it up pretty fast. Just biggest thing is just learning some of the lingo that Tony has with some of the calls. Sometimes I catch myself making some of the calls I made in Tampa. They're different, but besides that, catching up with Olson's offense is pretty easy because I've been around it through a couple of years.
Coach Alan was saying one of your best aspects is your feet. Do you look at it that way? Do you think about it and say that's where the secret is? That's where getting off the block is the best way?
I mean, my feet have always been, one of my best attributes. I played basketball my whole life. I started playing football sophomore year. Being a tackle, you gotta be able to dance out there a little bit, especially with the athletes at the end now. You look at Clowney, what he ran in the 40. You gotta have quick feet to be able to keep up with him and stuff. And I think that's been a good thing in my career that has helped me. And if I do mess up on some other technique, having good feet helps me recover sometimes a lot. And I think that's a good thing. And with me, going to my 9th year, one thing I do a lot during the off season is the ladder drill. I do that a lot to try to keep my feet going good. And that's one thing that really does help me at being a left tackle.
As the whole Jared Valdir, Roger Saffold drama kind of played out when free agency started, and then this spot opened up, did that open your eyes right away? Like, wow, that could be a destination for me?
I look at it like this: everything in life happens for a reason, and I think Oakland losing Stafford, and then we getting released the next day, and having Olsen here, and we having a great relationship with him. I talked to Olsen since he's been gone from Tampa. We still talk at least once or twice a year since then. But everything happens for a reason. And Oakland called me quick, and my family was happy they wanted me closer. And I wasn't ready to play right tackle yet. And coming here, I had a long talk with Tony. And Tony's one of the guys that really sold me. I really have a good relationship with him so far. We're building that, and being able to play with this line of this team. We got a lot of people we have a lot of chips on our shoulders. Talking to Tuck and Willie, especially myself. I got a big chip on my shoulder, never being released before, and I got a big chip on my shoulder. So these guys coming in, I think we're gonna do some good things.
Is that a big deal when a left tackle is moved to the right tackle? Is that kind of look at it like a demotion of some sort?
I mean, everybody has their own opinion on it. My opinion is, when the left tackle moves to right, it's usually towards the end, and I'm nowhere near towards the end. And that was one of my biggest things with making the decision to come here and not to Washington. I had a lot of great guys in Washington, Bruce Allen, Gio, Romeo, Raheem, Jay, all those guys up there, Doug. It was a good group, but I got a lot more left tackle in me, and I plan on finishing my career at left tackle.
You mentioned Tuck and Woodley and the team drafted Khalil Mack. When you get to training camp, how are having pass rushers like that on the other side of the ball going to help you with your game?
Oh, it's already helping me now. Me and Tuck talk almost in between every play, and you gotta understand Tuck is a different pass rusher than Woodley. Woodley's a different pass rusher than Khalil Mack. So getting all three of those types during camp is going to help me tremendous, because you look at our conferences, it's stacked with defensive ends and pass rushers. And you look at our schedule, it's stacked with that. So I think this is going to help me a lot. It's going to really help me a lot. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to helping them too. I'm looking forward to helping Mac, helping Tuck, helping Woodley with a couple of little tricks I have up my sleeve, because they have a lot of tricks up their sleeve too. And Khalil Mack's out there just working his butt off. You know, he's moving around a lot from side to side, playing different positions, but he's out there working. And you know, to get a young kid in there like that really has that I can tell he has that determination to want to be great. And I think he's just gonna make that front four. That's what's gonna add. It's gonna be third down.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that third down. That third down it's gonna be tough on opposing teams.
Can you tell right now that Mac is going to be an exceptional pass rusher? Or do you have to wait till you really start hitting, or can you see little signs and the get off and the things that he has that show you something already?
I see signs, and you know, one of the biggest signs I see is, you know, in between all the little drills, I see him picking at tucks here all the time, you know, getting advice. But Khalil is a special athlete, and I can tell by watching some of his movement and the way he could put his foot in the ground and change directions. For him to be doing that at the end, it looks like he's a DB. And you know, for a guy that size to be doing that, you know, I think he's gonna get a lot of sacks late in the down because he has a motor on him that's relentless. And as a tackle, you know, it's tough. You gotta stay on him until you hear the whistle blow or until you hear the crowd cheer. And he's gonna be relentless.
In what ways did getting released motivate you to work harder? It's awesome.
Huh?
In what ways did getting released, did that motivate you in terms of working harder? How does
I mean, I always work hard, you know, but, you know, getting released really, like, you know, really made me take a step back because I was in Tampa for 8 years. And I played a lot of football. You know, and I haven't ever been released before, except for, my rookie year when I was on practice squad. But it really was a step back, shocker. But, you know, I try to look at it like, you know, it's in the past now. I'm ready to look forward to the future. I'm happy to be a Raider, and you know, I am going to use that as fuel and motivation going into next season. And I'm going to use that a lot, you know, especially it's always going to be in the back of my head for the rest of my career.
You talked about how personally it's been special for you to go to the Raiders because that was the team you watched growing up in LA, but you were only 12 when they moved back to Oakland. What do you remember, what do you recall specifically about the Raiders being the LA Raiders?
Oh man, you don't understand, me and my dad used to go tailgate out there, and you know, all my dad's friends, he was one of the guys that, he passed away now, but he's one of the guys that used to always take us out there. I always remember being in the parking lot, you know, playing catch with his son, and you know, going to the games, you know, sitting in the nosebleed sections, but my dad having fun and rooting for the Raiders, and you know, they'd be out there cooking and, you know, drinking their beer before the game, and we used to always go, and that used to be something I looked forward to as a kid. And I remember being in college when the Raiders played in the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Bucks, and having a little Super Bowl party at the house, watching the Raiders and always cheering for the Raiders. And you know, now I'm gonna be able to help them return back to excellence.
Did you have a jersey growing up? What was your favorite player growing up?
I like Rich Gannon. I loved it when we got sapped. You know, Tim Brown. I was a big, you know, I used to always watch Big Lincoln all the time. You know, watch him. He's a great left tackle. So I grew up watching everybody.
What's been your first impression of Menelik Watson so far?
Menelik Watson he's a tremendous athlete. My thing is, I don't think Menelik knows how good he can be. I mean, I see a lot of potential in him, and you know, he has some great feet, which is important as a tackle. But Menelik wants to be good, and that's the biggest part of being a football player. You gotta want to be good, and he wants to, and he's working hard, and he's doing a lot of good things. And I've been in his ear a lot, and those one of those guys I'm trying to take under my wing, him and McCants, you know, and they're really picking my brain. You know, tell them when they're right, tell them when they're wrong, you know, to the side. But I like Menelik a lot.
What about
a couple
this
more
group?
guys.
What about this group as a whole? I know that you guys haven't put pads on yet. You haven't really gotten to be physical, but do you see the talent here? Obviously, you guys have the size up front, but as a starting five, do you guys think that you can really dictate tempo?
It's not a thing. We are going to do that. We're going to be a physical offensive line. We're going to play like the old Raiders in between the whistle. You know, smart. We're not going to get stupid penalties and stuff like that, but we're not going to take anything. We're not going to take any stuff. You know, we're going to run the ball, and we're going to run the ball until they stop us from running the ball, and it's going to be hard. And, you know, we're going to be a physical offensive line, and we're going to play tough. We're not going to take any stuff, and we're going to go out in the games, and we're going to dictate the tempo.
How much of an opportunity have you had to really get to know the other men on the offensive line to be a cohesive unit?
Oh man, I've spent a lot of time with all the guys. You know, me being at the, you know, I'm staying in the hotel now. Me, McCants, and Khalif would go out and have dinner. This past weekend, Austin, McCants, and Khalif and Dave Osbury, they came out to LA for my camp. The weekend before that, Lamar and Menelik came out for the weekend to LA with me. Stayed at my house. We had a good time. And so we are building relationships, and we are chilling and having a good time. Khalif and Matt brought their wife, Austin brought their wife this weekend, so all our families were able to meet. And tomorrow night, we're going out to dinner, a couple of guys. And then next week, I'm planning on taking the O-line and quarterbacks out to dinner before we get this whole thing wrapped up on me, so we could build a little bit more.